Recently, I have rerolled a new character in Fallout 4 with a focus on stealth and high damage sneak attacks. This is a very fun way to play the game, and it's a popular build choice. But if you're trying to get into this playstyle, you will more than likely want to know which weapons to use. So in this video, I will be showing you the best stealth weapons in Fallout 4 and where to get them. Now first up, let's talk about the earliest stealth weapons that you will come across. And then I will show you some amazing legendary weapons that will be perfect for mid to late game stealth builds. So suppressed weapons will be pretty rare during the first 10 to 15 levels of the game, but they will play a big role in most stealth builds due to the Sandman perk, which will give you up to a 50% sneak damage increase when you're using suppressed weapons. But if you head over to the Drumlin Diner, which will be right here on your map, you will come across two raiders threatening a woman inside the diner named Trudy. If you side with Trudy in the diner and help her take care of the two raiders, she will turn into a vendor, and she will be selling the suppressed bolt-action pistol. This is not a legendary weapon, but the damage on it is decent, and the ammo that it uses is common, and you can get this weapon pretty much at level 1 as soon as you leave the vault. It will also have a suppressor on it, so you can start building around the Sandman perk and use a stealth playstyle very early on in the game. You can also go to Concord and go to the museum, then from the museum go to the left until you reach this house on the end of the street. And on the top floor of the house you will find a bolt-action rifle with a scope. This weapon won't have a suppressor, but pipe weapons are very easy to put suppressors onto as they will just require the Gun Nut rank 1 perk, which can be unlocked at level 13. So by level 13 you could easily have a suppressed pipe pistol and a suppressed pipe sniper rifle, which will allow you to use a stealth playstyle very early on and use it to get better stealth weapons. But now let's move on to the better and more powerful legendary weapons that will work well with your stealth build. Starting off with a very nice melee weapon. To get this melee weapon you will need to go to Pikmin's Gallery. When you get here you will need to clear out all of the raiders and protect Pikmin. Then Pikmin will give you a key to his safe that you can find behind this painting. And inside of this safe you will find the Pikmin's Blade, which will be a legendary combat knife that will have a perk on it that will apply a bleed effect to targets that will do an additional 25 damage. And it will come with a stealth blade on it, which will increase the damage done by this weapon when you're using it to do sneak attacks. The next weapon on this list will come from the rare vendor named Cricket. You can find this vendor walking between Bunker Hill, Diamond City, and Vault 81. So pick one of these locations and wait for her to arrive, and she will be selling the Spray and Pray. This is a legendary rifle that will have a perk on it that will make bullets fired from this weapon explode on contact, dealing an additional 15 damage to everything around the explosion. But it will also come with a 100 round mag and a suppressor. For the next weapon you will need to head over to Vault 81 and talk to the vendor inside the vault. And this vendor will be selling the Overseer's Guardian. This is another legendary rifle that will come with a perk on it that will make this weapon fire 2 bullets every time you pull the trigger, turning it into a powerful 2-shot weapon that will quickly take out even the strongest enemies in the game. Now this weapon won't come with a suppressor, but you can add one onto it to fit into your stealth builds, and if you are using VATS with your stealth build, you will do a lot of damage from each VATS shot, as this weapon will fire 2 shots every time you shoot in VATS. And with the scope on it, you can use it as a long-range stealth weapon. The next stealth weapon on this list will come from the Dunwich Boars location, which will be right here on your map. When you get here, make your way to the underground tunnels and look for this hole in the ground, then you can jump in and swim down to find Krem's Tooth. This will be a legendary machete weapon that will do a ton of damage, and it will work well for melee stealth builds. The perk on this weapon makes Krem's Tooth apply bleed and poison damage to targets hit with this weapon, which will help you keep constant pressure on your enemies. For the next weapon on this list, you will need to head over to the Nuka World Market. When you get here, talk to the vendor Aaron, and he will be selling the Splatter Cannon. This is a very powerful weapon that will come with a scope and a suppressor, which will help you with your stealth build, but the perk on the Splatter Cannon makes the weapon do more damage every time you shoot the same target, making this weapon good for your stealth build, and then the perk will help you take out difficult enemies that you can't take out in one shot. The next weapon on the list will come from Far Harbor. When you get here, talk to the vendor Alan Lee, and he will be selling the Admiral's Friend. This will be your go-to weapon to take out difficult enemies in one shot using sneak attacks. This is because of the high base damage on the weapon and the perk on it, which makes the weapon do double damage if the target is at full health. So you can sneak up on difficult enemies and then use this weapon to start the fight to do a ton of damage right away. To get the next weapon on the list, you will need to talk to Preston Garvey and progress through the Minuteman questline until you secure the castle for the Minutemen. Once you do this, you can return to the castle and look for a new NPC named Ronnie Shaw, and she will have a new short side quest for you. Completing this side quest will turn Ronnie into a vendor at the castle that you can buy the last minute Gaus Rifle from. The last minute will also have a very high base damage, making it a great opening weapon like the Admiral's Friend, and the perk on this weapon increases the weapon's limb damage by 50%. For the next weapon on the list, you will need to go to the Railroad HQ, which will be underneath the Old North Church. When you get here for the first time, you will encounter the Railroad faction, and if you agree to join them, you will get a side quest called Tradescraft. After you complete that short side quest, you will be given the Deliverer, which may be the best stealth weapon in the game. Due to its really good damage, common ammo type, and it will come with a suppressor. But the perk on the weapon will improve VAT's hit chance, and VATs will cost 25% less action points. So it will be a very good weapon for VAT-centered stealth builds, and you will be able to fire this weapon so many times in VATs because of the reduced action point cost. But then after you complete that Tradescraft quest and join the Railroad, you can return to the Railroad HQ and talk to Tinker Tom, who will be selling the Tinker Tom Special. This is a legendary suppressed sniper rifle that will come with a perk that will increase VAT's accuracy if you are not in combat. So for just doing one quest for this faction, you will unlock a great stealth primary and secondary weapon, so it's definitely worth it to do this. And those are some of the best stealth weapons in Fallout 4, but I would love to know which of these weapons you like using the most when playing with stealth builds. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.